Hello, good day everyone, and welcome back to the channel Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. In this video, we are going to learn about shipboard familiarization. So whenever a new crew member signs on the vessel, he is supposed to be familiarized with the ship, with the ship's safety equipment, the life-saving appliances, the firefighting appliances, and other shipboard equipments. So in this video, we are going to see how this familiarization should take place. Now, every company has their standard ship specific checklist for carrying out this familiarization. We are going to use a generic checklist here just to go through that what all points should be covered while carrying out this shipboard familiarization. So this familiarization is divided into 3 or maybe 4 parts depending upon ship to ship. First is some points have to be covered as soon as the crew member joins the ship. Some points have to be covered within 24 hours of crew member joining the ship, and some points have to be covered within a crew member joining the ship within 7 days, and some points may be covered within 1 month. So let's go through this checklist. First is you have to write the name of the ship here. The name of the joining staff name is supposed to be written here. Then his rank is to be written here and the sign on date. Then nowadays, all the standard companies have this stop the job or stop card system on board the ship. It does not matter whether you are a junior or whether you are a senior. If you see anybody doing any work which is unsafe or a work which is being not done as per the procedures, you can show the stop job or stop card to that gentleman, whoever it is. Even a trainee OS can show this stop card to a master if he sees that the master is not doing that particular work safely, or if he is not wearing PPE or other equipment which is required for the safety of the crew member himself, or for the safety of the equipment or for the safety of the ship. So this every standard company has this procedure, so you have to be aware of that. Now let's go through this checklist point by point. Now, if any crew member is not aware of the stop the job or stop card system which is being used in this particular company or the ship, then the safety officer has to explain the process before proceeding with the familiarization. Next is items to be completed before sailing. When the crew member joins the ship, these items have to be completed before the ship sails out. And these points are: first, check emergency signals on muster list. Do you know what to do if a fire or a general alarm is sounded? Do you know what to do if a person falls overboard? So the crew member has to be aware of these procedures, that he should understand what are the emergency signals which are being used on that particular ship. Either the familiarizing officer will tell you those signals, or you have to visit the muster list, which is posted in a conspicuous location in the alleyway, normally outside the cargo control room, and you have to check the emergency signals. Then you should know what to do if you locate a fire, or if you find a fire, or if you hear a fire alarm or a general emergency alarm which is being sounded, or if you see a person who has fallen overboard. So you should know that, and it has to be explained to you while your familiarization is being done, and it has to be ticked yes. All these points have to be ticked yes once you you are familiarized with that particular point. Next is you have to check lifeboat station and emergency muster station location. You have to actually go there and check the stations. Next is you have to check escape routes and your emergency party and abandoned ship duty. So you should know the escape routes from where you have to escape from your cabin, from your workplace, and then you have to check which is your party, which is your emergency party as per the muster list, and what are your duties as per the abandoned ship duties. Now, if you see the muster list, you will see that the ship's crew is divided into various teams for the purpose of tackling the emergencies. For example, there are many teams as per the firefighting procedures. Like you can have a bridge team, you will have emergency team 1, emergency team 2, standby team, medical team, engine room team or a technical team, and all the crew members will be divided into these teams, and their duties will be written in front of their names, so they know what to do in that particular emergency, and they should know what to do in case of abandoned ship, or they should know what to do in case of man overboard. So for that you have to check your muster list. If you have not carried out this duty before, then ask the officer in charge to explain this in detail to you. Maybe on some other ship you have carried out this duty, you understand how this duty is to be carried out. If you have not carried out this duty any time before, then you can ask the familiarizing officer to explain to you in detail that what is expected of you to do. Next is, have you carried out this duty before? If yes, it is okay. If no, then ask the officer in charge to explain in detail that what is to be done when you are carrying out the duty. Then you have to check the location of the emergency muster station. You have to physically go there and check it where the emergency muster station is. Then you have to check escape routes from your cabin and workplace to the lifeboat station and to the emergency muster station. You have to actually go through that escape route and check it. Then you have to locate 2 fire extinguishers nearest to your cabin. Actually go there, physically check it, and locate the 2 nearest fire extinguishers to your cabin. Then next point is, do you know what to do if a fire or smoke is detected? Are you made aware of a method of raising a fire alarm? Okay, you should know what to do in case fire or smoke is detected, and you should be aware of the method of raising a fire alarm. That can be by pressing the fire call point or by any other procedure which may be followed on your particular ship. Most of the ships, it is the fire call point which is to be pressed, or if you have a walkie-talkie, you can inform the officer of watch on the walkie-talkie, or you can directly press the fire alarm button if the fire alarm button is located close to you. Next is, do you know what action to take upon encountering an accident or other medical emergency before seeking further medical assistance on board? You should be trained in first aid, carrying out emergency first aid. So in case if you see somebody meeting an accident, you should know what to do and what actions to be carried out, like giving CPR. And after that, you should know how to seek further medical assistance on board from the medical officer, from the master, or from any other source. Once the medical officer arrives or the master arrives, they will take over, and if they need any further assistance, they can go for radio medical advice. Or if you have a company doctor, they can contact the company doctor. The next is, have you located the escape sets on board and know how to use them? This is the emergency escape breathing device. You should know the location of emergency escape breathing device. This provides you sufficient air for about 10 to 12 minutes. You should know how to use them, and you should know where they are kept. Next is, have you located the nearest internal telephone and fire alarm button, if applicable? That the nearest internal telephone and fire alarm button nearest to your cabin and nearest to your workplace. So in the ship, we have the intercom. Mostly all the cabins nowadays have this internal telephone, and almost all the accommodation entrances, you have the fire call point. So you should physically go and check their location. Next is, have you located, checked, and donned your life jacket and immersion suit? Each crew member is provided with a life jacket and an immersion suit. They are normally kept inside your cabin, inside maybe the cupboard. It is marked, stenciled, and I am a poster is posted there. So you should actually check their location, physically verify that they are there. All officers and crew, workplace familiarization should be carried out, and you should be familiar with your workplace before taking full responsibility of the same. Your company may be having some specific forms for workplace familiarization also. Like for engine room, there may be a engine room checklist. For bridge, there may be a bridge checklist. Or for deck, there may be a separate checklist. So that checklist has to be accompanied with this particular checklist. Next is, have you been instructed about safe operation of the ship's watertight doors, fire screen doors, weathertight doors? You may or may not have watertight doors on your ship. Now, if applicable to your ship, then you should know how to carry out the safe operation of the ship's watertight doors, how to open them, how to close them. A copy of your job description has been provided. Normally, when you join a ship, along with your contract letter, a copy of your job description is being provided to you. If not, it will be provided to you on board the ship. So you should go through this job description of what is expected of you on board the ship. Next is ship specific watch keeping times procedures have been explained. On board every ship we have a watch keeping schedule, working schedule, and it has to be explained to you. For vessels on environmental compliance plan ECP, have you been briefed of the requirements of the ECP and how it relates to your position on board the ship? Now this has to be completed before the vessel sails. These 16 points all has to be ticked yes, and later on you are going to sign here that I have been familiarized with the above requirements and equipment prior to vessel sailing, and the crew member signs here, and the witness signs here, or the officer who familiarizes the particular crew member signs here. The next number of points are going to be covered within 24 hours of joining the vessel. And these points are that have you found where spare life jackets are stored? On every ship we have some spare life jackets. Now if you have an emergency, you may not get sufficient time to go to your cabin and to fetch the life jacket. For that purpose, some spare life jackets are also kept on board the ship. Spare life jackets may be placed on the bridge, they may be placed at the lifeboat station itself, or they may be placed in the ECR. You should know where these are stored so that you can use them in case of an emergency. You may also forget to get your life jacket during an emergency from your cabin. Now, once you are out, once you are at the muster station, you should not go back to your cabin to fetch your life jacket, because you may trap yourself into some obstruction inside if there is a fire or smoke and anything else. So that time you can use this spare life jackets. But notwithstanding this, it is all the crew members are required to get their life jackets from their cabin if they are close to it. Next is, do you know where all life rafts are stored? So you should physically check the location of all the life rafts. Then have you checked the equipment you personally will use at your emergency station? You may be designated certain duties for abandoned ship or for any other emergencies. You may be required to get certain equipment to tackle these emergencies. Like you may be given the duty to bring the SCBA set to the emergency station, or to bring the EPUB or SART at the emergency station. You have to physically go to that equipment and see where that equipment is stored. So in case of an emergency, you can immediately rush there and get it to the emergency muster station, so that you don't have to find when it is an emergency. When it is an emergency, every second is important. Next is, have you checked the position of all firefighting equipment in the accommodation? Next is, have you checked the position of all firefighting equipment at your normal place of work? So you should know what all firefighting appliances are available to you in the accommodation and at your normal place of work. And for that matter, you should know all the firefighting equipment available on board the ship. Next is, have you checked where the life buoys are stored? You should know the location of the life buoys. If you see somebody falling overboard, it should not be that you're running to find the life buoys. You should immediately know where the life buoys are kept so that you can throw the life buoy to that person. Have you studied lifeboat and emergency muster list, emergency station muster list? That's the first thing when you go on board the ship. Read the emergency muster station list, understand what your duties are in various kinds of emergencies. Next is, have you checked where oil spill equipment is stored? Normally it is kept in the SOPEP locker. You should check the location of the SOPEP locker. Apart from the SOPEP locker, some equipment might be kept at the break of accommodation or at the bunker stations or at some specific locations. You have to physically go there and check where this SOPEP equipment is kept. That's also called as the oil spill equipment. Now, have you understood ship specific safety and emergency procedures and arrangements? What are the procedures which will be adopted on that particular ship in case of an emergency? You have to be aware of that. Next is, are you familiar with your security duties and responsibilities, and are you aware of how to report a security incident? Procedures to follow when you see a security threat, your role in security related emergency and contingency procedures. You have to be aware of it. Nowadays, we have a lot of security incidents happening, A lot of stress is also given on the security now. You should know who the ship security officer is, who your company security officer is. You should know how to report a security incidents. And if you follow, and you should know the procedures to be followed when you see a security threat, and your role in security related emergency and contingency procedures. Have you been shown the location and been given instructions in the use of the ship security alert system? That's the SSAS button. There are two buttons on board the ship, which can be pressed in case of a piracy attack or in case of a hijacking or a terrorist attack. Whenever there is a threat to the ship's security, you can press this button and an alert will be sent to your company security officer and maybe to your flag state also, without alerting anybody on board the ship. One of these two buttons is located on board the ship, and all the crew members should know where this button is located on the ship. Second button is located in a safe location that may be inside master's cabin, inside the CCR, inside ECR, or some other safe location. And you should be aware where these buttons are located. These have to be pressed only in case of an emergency. Are you aware of the identity of the ship security, safety, environmental officers where applicable? So you should know who the ship security officer is, who the ship safety officer is, or on a particular ship, if you have an environmental officer, you should know who he is. Next, are you familiar with emergency fire pump and emergency diesel generator operational procedures? You should know how to start your emergency fire pump. You should also know how to start your emergency diesel generator. Are you familiar with the procedures for starting the lifeboat engine? You should know how to start the lifeboat engine. If you don't know, you should learn it. Confirm aware of requirements of the open reporting process or whistleblowing policy. You may have a whistleblowing policy on board your ship, on board in your company, where if you see anybody carrying out any wrong activities, which is not in accordance with the company policies, you can call on this number without even revealing your identity. And you can tell the person who picks up the phone about what is or what you want to report or what is going on board the ship or what you feel is wrong and which should not be happening on board the ship. Then, have you been issued with a staff notebook? Sometimes you're issued with a staff notebook. That depends upon the company to company. But if in your company there is a procedure of staff notebook, then have you been issued with it or not? Then confirm awareness of the onboard complaints procedure, that you should be aware of the onboard complaints procedure as per the MLC. Normally, one officer is designated. He is a officer to whom everybody can report or complain on whatever issues the particular crew member wants to complain. His contact is given on this particular form. If your problem is still not sorted out, you may speak about this problem to the master. If still not sorted out, you can speak about this problem to the designated person who is there in your manning office. The next points are to be completed within 7 days of joining the vessel by all crew members. That have you checked instructions on the life rafts? All the life rafts have their instructions, how to use this life raft, how to abandon when you are abandoning the ship, how to inflate this life rafts, how to use this life rafts, how you're going to open the lashing and everything on this life raft. That you have to read. These are posted on the life raft itself. There may be a poster posted on the bulkhead close to the life raft, which is under an emergency light. So you should read the instructions by yourself. You yourself should be capable of inflating this life raft and using it. Have you checked where the first aid and medical equipment is situated? You should know where the first aid equipment, first aid kit, where the ship's hospital is, and where other medical equipment is located on board the ship. Could you find your way in the darkness from your cabin and place of work to the nearest exit to the deck? You should practice doing it. Close your eyes and try to find nearest escape from your cabin and from your workplace to the nearest exit, so that you can, in case there is a blackout, in case there is darkness, there is smoke, then you have sufficient practice to come out of that place and you can reach the muster station. Next is, have you read the operating instructions on all types of fire extinguishers on board the ship? You may have different kinds of fire extinguishers on board the ship, and you should read the operating instructions of all these types of fire extinguishers. The operating instructions are posted on the extinguisher itself. Next is, have you read the vessel training manual situated in public areas, that is the mess room and smoking room? All ships have a SOLAS training manual. This is ship-specific manual which contain details of all the life-saving appliances, firefighting appliances on board the ship, on the procedure to use them, to don them, to the lifeboat lowering procedures, the life raft lowering procedures, all the procedures and everything, the equipment details are given there. Within 7 days of joining the ship, you are supposed to read this training manual and you're supposed to sign the first page or page, the acknowledgement page. Most of the time, crew members do not read it. Please don't do that. Please make sure that you read this manual on every time you join a ship. Next is, are you aware of the garbage disposal policy aboard your vessel and any specific requirements required by the garbage management plan? So you should know the garbage disposal policy on board your ship. Now, as per the latest regulation of the MARPOL, no garbage can be thrown into sea. All the garbage has to be stored on board. It has to be either incinerated or landed ashore. Only food waste can be thrown into the sea, but that too only in when the ship is outside special areas and when it is away from the coast, as per the MARPOL. Are you aware of the reporting of accidents, incidents, near misses, unsafe acts and unsafe practices and unsafe conditions? On board your ship, you have a reporting procedure that how you are going to report an accident, how you're going to report an incident, how you're going to report a near miss, an unsafe act or unsafe condition, unsafe situation, then you should know how to report it. If you don't know, meet your safety officer, ask him or ask your familiarizing officer. He will explain it to you. Next is, have you read and understood the company policies? There may be various company policies on your company, in your company, on your ship. These are posted in the alleyway. Read all the company policies. Most of the companies ask you to read and understand these company policies before you join a ship, also when you visit the office before joining the ship. It can be companies' quality policy statement, environmental policy, technical policy, just culture policy, function policies, drug and alcohol policy about your vessel, whistleblower policy, or other policies may be included. Next is, are you aware about permits to work and areas where they must be used? Example, enclosed space permit, hot work permit, cold work permit, working aloft permit, working oversights permit, various kinds of permits are there. So you should be aware that for doing what kind of work you need to do, what you need to use, what kind of permit, and make sure that you use this permit before you start doing that job. I'll make a separate video on permits also at a later stage. Maybe you can go through that video also if you want to understand more on the work permits. Next is, have you discussed with the safety officer or your head of department any points on which you were uncertain or did not fully understand? So if you have not understood any points, sit with your safety officer and ask him to explain it to you. Do you know how and where to contact the duty officer at any hour of the day or night? You should know how to contact the duty officer. Normally is on the bridge all the time when the ship is sailing, and when the ship is not sailing, he will be there in the cargo control room. If the ship is at anchor, if the ship is at berth carrying out cargo operations, rest of the time, whether the ship is sailing or whether the ship is at anchor, the duty officer will be on the bridge all the time. So you should know how to contact him. Are you aware of the ballast water management plan on board the vessel? So you should understand the ballast water management plan and if you have any duties related to it. Next is, are you aware of the vessel journal permit on board the vessel and have you received familiarization training documented in the VGP logbook? So this vessel journal permit is required for the ships trading in the US or visiting the US. So if your ship is trading in the US or visits US, then you should know what vessel journal permit is. If you don't know this, please ask your safety officer to explain it to you. Normally, most of the companies will ask you to carry out or they will conduct a training or a course before you join the ship on vessel journal permit. Next is, have you been shown the emergency towing arrangements on board the ship? You have to physically check it, that how it is to be used. Next, are you aware of the requirements for work and rest hour and how to enter them to the database? There on every ship, the work and the rest hour requirements are to be followed on board the ship. You should understand how to fill this work and rest hours form. It can be a hard copy or it can be a software in the computer, depends upon your company, depends upon your ship, and you should know how to use it. Next is, have you received familiarization the vessel cybersecurity plan, and have you been briefed on shipboard computer and security guidance, including guidance on the use of personal devices? This is the latest thing. The every ship is now supposed to have a vessel's cybersecurity plan. You should know the contents of the cybersecurity plan. Ship's computers may be hacked. You are not supposed to use any of your personal hard drives or hard disk or pen drives on any of the ship's computers. And you should not connect your mobile phones or any of the equipment on the ship's computers. Please understand this vessel cybersecurity plan from the ship security officer. If you are going to be helmsman, then you have to go through these 2 points also. That have you received familiarization with steering system, location, and operation, including the emergency steering gear? Next is, have you had a practical exercise of hand steering in safe navigational situation? That before taking over as a helmsman, you should have some practical exercise on that particular ship before you take over as a helmsman on that ship. Now, the next 3 points are for deck and engine officers within 30 days of joining the ship. That have you read and fully understood VM procedures as applicable to your job and responsibilities, that is SMS procedures, safety management system procedures on board your ship, which is applicable to your job and responsibilities. Have you discussed with the safety officer or your head of department any points on which you were uncertain or did not fully understand? And at the end, the last point is, have you access to the Code of Safe Working Practices latest edition? This is normally kept on the bridge. Sometimes it is also kept on the smoke rooms or recreation rooms or inside your mess rooms. Normally also kept in public places like recreation rooms. Please go through this Code of Safe Working Practices before you carrying out any work. At the end, it will be signed by the head of the department. Name and rank will be written here. It will be signed by him. The joining staff will make a comment that I am familiar with the above requirements and equipment, and he will sign it. And at the end, it will be signed by the master, and the date when this familiarization complete is going to be put. I hope, gentlemen, you have understood how this familiarization is going to be carried out on board the ship. This checklist will really be very helpful for deck cadets or engine cadets or GP rating boys who will be going on the ship for the first time, but it can be used by other people who are joining the ship. The checklist is going to be the same for whether he's a new trainee or he's a new joiner or he's the same person joining the same ship again and again. Now, this is a generic checklist. Your ship may have a specific checklist. That specific checklist has to be used, but more or less, we have covered most of the points, and which are going to be the same, but additional things may be put into it. Gentlemen, I hope it will be helpful to you. It can be used for preparation of your exams, and it can be useful for gaining knowledge. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it is useful to you. If you have any doubts or any question, you can post it in the comment box. I will definitely make sure that I reply to it. And please don't forget to subscribe this channel, Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. Your subscription definitely motivates me to make more such videos. I'll just type the name of the channel here. That's Master Mariner Amit Sangwan. Please subscribe this channel, and you can also share it with your friends, especially the new boys who will be joining the ship for the first time. It will be helpful for them. Thank you. Thanks for watching a video. Have a great day.